So this is Paul Gunn joining you live from Singapore. And this is actually what's going to be happening as we go through this. We have, I think it's 5 things that we kind of do. So let's have a look. So the huge power of small, that's where I'm going to share with you some tiny, tiny little things, but tiny, tiny little things that have some important connotations and some important impacts for you. Then we have someone today joining us all the way from Bali, I think, who's going to do this incredible little thing called Partner Point. Which is where somebody gets to have 75 seconds, and we time them, and they get fined if they go longer for 75 seconds. So stay tuned for that right after the power of small. And then, as you can see on your screen right now, then we're going to get into Masami's update. And I can tell you that that is going to be very special today. Now, you're going to see all sorts of new things that we're doing here in B1G1, some things that you don't even know that we're doing. And when Masami's done that, then you are going to get a big surprise. Actually, there's going to be 2 surprises today, I think. She told me about an hour ago, she said, oh, I've got a bonus surprise. So what that means is, don't you dare leave. Make sure that you stay all the way through our time together. So let's get started with the huge power of small. By the way, do get your notepads out, because there are going to be some links that you're going to need. Plus, you might want to, we're going to have like a couple of guessing games as well. So a bit more than guessing games, quite serious actually. So because some of you may have missed, oh no, did you actually miss some Connect Pluses? Well, we're going to tell you some things that you actually missed, because we always begin with the tiny, 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 but huge power of small. And I want to tell you what we've been covering. And by the way, if you would like any one of these recordings of any of these previous episodes, just let us know. Just drop me a line, paul@b1g1.com, if any one of these, or indeed all of them, but probably best if you are selective. So the first one we did way back when was on pricing. Then we talked about how you acknowledge people. Then, oh, this was a really, really popular one that we did on presenting. How do you make things from a presenting point of view? How do you do it in such a way that you seriously engage people? Then we talked about some great business building ideas. Then we even looked at tiny ideas in signage. Actually, today, we're also going to have a look at a little signage idea as well. And then on B1G1 Connect Plus number 6, we look at some fascinating things on giving. Then we looked at BE. What is that? For regular viewers, you would know that's behavioral economics. In pricing, again, some fascinating stuff. And then the last time we met, which was about 5 weeks ago, we looked at what it takes to be the best in the world and how you do that. And we played a little video where someone actually figured out how to do that, and it was all about booming. But again, if you want to see that, just let us know. Either any one of those or all, just let us know. And you might say, well, okay, but what are we going to do today? Well, what we're going to do today on B1G1 Connect Plus is we're actually going to do 2 things in the power of small. We're going to look at words, and we are going to look at spirit. And we're going to look at spirit in a fascinating, fascinating way. But before we look at spirit, let's have a look at words. And look at that. How on earth did that happen? Put up this look at title words. How did we ever do this? Remember that? What a great, great band they were. So let's have a look at words. Now, this happened to me in a place called Asheville. Asheville, for those of you who don't know, is in North Carolina in the US. And I was there, I feel like it was about a week ago, but it may have been 10 days ago. And we checked in, courtesy of Bill Gilliland there, we checked in. We're doing quite a couple of large programs there. We checked into the Hilton, and it was a beautiful, beautiful check-in. And right alongside where we were checking in was this particular note here. You can see it, I hope, on your screen. It says, if you're not satisfied with your stay, let us know and we'll make it right. Now, you know how once you start to focus on things, you see things that perhaps the ordinary person, if you will, may not see, or the person who's not so clued in on looking for these clues. And whenever I see the word satisfied, and there's a better way of describing that. So let me just blow that one up for you like this. This is what it says. If you're not satisfied with your stay, let us know and we'll make it right. Now, here's what you can do on the chat. Tell us which word you would change. And I guess, yeah, let me give you a clue. It's, let's see, about a 7-digit word, is it? Yes, no, an 8-digit word. The one that we think you should change. So go find an 8-character word. And what we would much prefer, you see, because we would much prefer that sign to read something else. And here's what we would prefer it to. There's the word, by the way. And this is what we would prefer it to say if you're not delighted with your stay. Now, the reason for that is pretty simple. If you've got the whole team together and the team is saying, well, what's the vision, what's the mission, if you like, of the Hilton here in Asheville, hopefully they don't say that our mission is to satisfy our guests. I mean, everybody talks about satisfying the guests, but what if they really started thinking about the little tiny things that they could do, not just when you arrive, but all throughout your stay, and these tiny things in particular when you leave that would actually delight you, because when you're delighted, you're much more likely, as you can guess, to go back again. So it's not about satisfaction, it is about delight. Now, here's another interesting thing. This one happened in Miami, in Florida. And we were doing some mentoring through the good offices of Jody and Doug there at Action Coach in Miami with some people all day, actually. And one of the people came in, Jovan Blino, as you can see. And what Jovan and his partner do is they run this really wonderful place called Unearth Vintage. And what Unearth Vintage does, apparently in Miami, it's quite the thing to have weddings and use really old furniture. So what these guys do is they have furniture, they have all sorts of amazing tables and linen and what have you, and the bride and the groom come out typically about a year before, I believe, and select all of these wonderful things. So they gave me their card. And again, I'm one of those people who can't kind of help it. So I'm looking at the bottom of the card, and you can see now some of us might say, well, the font is a bit hard to read. Hopefully you can read it on your screen. You will be if you're full screen, and going full screen is a good way to keep your attention, by the way. So do make sure you're that. And it says a boutique rental company restoring beauty, preserving love, which I think that's what it says. The font is a little bit hard to read. So I wonder, what word would you change in there? Now, you don't have to think like me. I mean, there's all sorts of things you could change in there. But if you really focus on the power of small and words to make a little difference, I think that what you might focus on is the word in there that has just one letter. And that is this word. Oh, there we go. I've blown it up for you right there. That is this word right there. What would happen, I wonder, to all of the people in the company if instead of calling a boutique rental company, we called it the boutique rental company? What would happen to all of the searches? What would happen, and so on and so on and so forth, just by changing a 1-character word into 3 characters. Fascinating what you can do. Let me give you another example of this. Some of you may have seen this a few years ago, but it bears repeating. And by the way, just after this, we're going to get into spirit, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Here's a coffee shop. It's actually in Brisbane, but have a look what it says. It doesn't just say Una Vida Coffee Shop, it says Inspirational Coffee. And have a look at how they describe the menu. It's described as Inspirational Menu. Now, one very simple question. What sort of people do you think they hire? And the answer is, of course, they hire inspirational people. Because if you come in there and you go, oh, well, you know, I'm a sort of a barista, I can make a good cup of coffee. Sorry, you don't kind of cut it in the inspirational stakes. And so what you're starting to see is how just the selection of one word, which, by the way, costs them nothing to put on that menu, really starts to change the entire direction of the company. Now, what's interesting about changing the direction is you can actually do that in another way with the power of small. So let's have a look at this. And what I want to do is now talk about spirit and show you how tiny actions can actually produce very big spirit. And once you get that very big spirit, it changes everything. And talking of changing everything, I want you to think about your last visit to the dentist. Actually, we have 2 people here who've just had wisdom teeth out, so it's a common subject, or rather B1G1 right now. But anyway, think about your last visit to the dentist. I'm sure it was very, very good, but I wonder if it was like this. And I wonder if they seriously had got what we might call the giving spirit. Have a listen to this.
I was absolutely petrified of the dentist, and I hadn't been for a very embarrassingly long time. And unfortunately, I had a bit of a mishap. So I very sheepishly walked up the stairs and came in to see Warren, and he fixed me, put me back together, and at the same time I found out that they were sort of looking for a receptionist. So I applied for it and I came in for the interview, and thankfully I got it, and I've been happy ever since. But yeah, in the interview sort of was mentioned about obviously sort of giving and their involvement with sort of different charities. And
part of the interview process is based all around our actual core values for the business, so we've sort of recruited like-minded individuals.
I am the practice manager here at Grey Home Dental Suite. I've been here 17-ish years. Every time a patient comes in for their hygiene therapy, we have, at the moment we have 3 projects. They get given a little token and they can come and choose which project they like. So we've given access to water, medication for a nursery child, building wells. There's just so much that we've done, and I think to date we've got 33,000 giving impacts.
when we get a new patient especially, we send out a letter to them to explain any sort of treatment that they might need and to welcome them. And at the end of the letter we say, thank you very much for sort of coming and becoming a patient of ours. Because you've done this, we've donated a goat to a Kenyan family.
We're here to make people happy and healthy. It just so happens that we do teeth as well.
But yeah, so we've got his today because obviously he's undergoing some sort of cosmetic treatment, so he's obviously paying for it, so he's now donated a well.
I'm going to give it you now, and this is to say that just by having your teeth straightened, you've built a well in Malawi to give them access to them.
Excellent. Thank you.
They all like to get involved. Yeah, that's good.
Because we're only a small business, we haven't had it's not been that easy to give back, and so B1G1 opened our eyes to that, and I think from that our giving has just escalated, I guess. And we're on a roll now, aren't we? And we just love being involved with helping people. It's bonding for all of us. Yeah.
It's really inspirational to sort of be part of a team that all feel the same way and all love to get involved.
Just the other day that a lady came in, didn't she, to ask us if one of our hygiene team would go and speak to some of a baby group. And she said, we've heard that you do a lot. And that made us quite proud, because obviously people hear that we're doing a lot, and because that's naturally who we are, I think. And it's what we've nurtured in the business throughout the years.
And we've had meetings, and we've been sort of chatting and trying to get down really to the core about why we're here.
Having that giving spirit, I mean, no one gets through that door if they haven't got that now.
So rewarding to see what your efforts are actually contributing towards, and I just wholeheartedly recommend people get involved.
There you go. Well, of course, you don't have to follow that particular advice there, which is join B1G1, because you are well and truly a part of that right here on Connect Plus today. But I don't know about you, but I thought that was just the most fascinating interview. In fact, Masami may have a comment on that later on. She just dropped in literally to that particular B1G1 dentist, happened to be in Cheltenham in the United Kingdom. And there were all sorts of things that we got from that. But what might be kind of cool is if you get up on the chat and tell us what you got from that. Hopefully you got that whole thing about the team bonding, and hopefully you got this, what had happened was they've now created a giving spirit. Masami, I know when she came back, told us stories of how it wasn't always like that. In fact, they were losing people hand over fist until about 3 years ago, when they first got involved in B1G1 and started to do some things, and then created this giving spirit, which then you can see. By the way, don't you think, wasn't it amazing, the guy on the chair? Can you imagine? He's been sitting in that chair for 3 hours and he gets a giving certificate, which is like really, or a gratitude certificate, which is really, really cool. So talking of really, really cool, one of the very cool places to go in this world is up there in Bali. And we have someone right up there in Bali who used to not be in Bali, but as a result of some very interesting things, and he's now got a daughter up there in Bali. She's very lovely, and his wife is up there as well. And his name, some of you would be familiar with him. His name is John Abbott. And John, if you want to unmute your microphone, there you go. Lovely to have you here, John. Fantastic to have you here. John at the Results Foundation up there. How's it going up in Bali?
Fantastic. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for having me too.
Well, it's a pleasure. And John, I know that you've got something coming up tomorrow, and I know that you know the rules of the engagement, if you might want to put it that way right here. And that is Partner Plus is all about getting 75 seconds. So get your watches ready, because I'm going to get mine ready, and we are going to press go. And John has 75 seconds to inspire you and to invite you, I guess, John, to what's happening tomorrow. So you tell me when you're ready to go, and I will get my timer started here. By the way, if John would go over, what happens is we fine him. So, and some people just go over because they like being fined, because everything goes back to a project of their choice as well. So, John, are you ready to go?
Ready, Paul?
Okay, John, your time starts right now. Love those pictures. Here we go.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for the introduction. You kind of spoiled a little bit of it. I do live in Bali. I get the great opportunity to work with entrepreneurs from all around the world. And I have an extraordinarily beautiful daughter and a wife that live here with me, and we were able to adopt her when we got to Bali as a result of us making a commitment to be here. And in the bottom right-hand corner is where I spend a lot of my time these days in mentoring and working with different entrepreneurs, helping them with their marketing. But I want to talk to you about some questions for you. Who would love to find and enroll affiliates who are wanting to promote you on a regular basis? Who would love that?
John,
if that's you, then keep listening.
Great idea.
And who'd like to get paid by your affiliates to give you leads? Now, let me say that a different way. Get paid, get hundreds of thousands of your target leads. Who'd like that? If that's you, then stick around. And who would like your prospects eagerly waiting your phone call, ready to buy your high-end products? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. It's a unique product and program that I've developed in the last 5 years, and I'd love you to be there. And more so, when you do come along, I'm giving away some help for a woman who has got a microloan right now, and this is going to go towards her. So you just got to let me know that you came from V1G1 on the call tomorrow, and that's going to be done. Thank you so much.
Hey, John, fantastic. And you almost made, we'll say you almost made your 1 minute and your 75 seconds. You just went a little tiny bit over, but we'll be generous, particularly since on the back of what you're doing there, John, you're doing some fantastic things around B1G1 as well. So we're very, very thrilled. And John, I noticed that you had a sort of a complex link, right? So John, what I did ahead of time, so everybody can take this link just ahead of Masami. Let me just go back and share my screen. There we go. So John, huge things from us as a way of saying thank you to you. And John, what we're going to do, I told you that you should have some pencils ready. How about this, John? This is so much nicer than that complex link you have. So all you've got to do—
Yeah, such a genius was, Paul. Thank you.
You got to do bit.ly/web with John. And you must put that all in lowercase and jump up there and register. I know from people who've been involved with what John is doing on that program that the results are absolutely stunning. And so if it wasn't exactly clear, don't worry too much about that. Just get on there and it will become clear the moment you start chatting with John. So John, once again, thank you so much for being here, and a total thrill to have you in Partner Point. So let's have a look at where we've been. We've been through the huge power of small. Oh, lots of chat. Wonderful. We've been through the Partner Point. And that leads us to da-da-da-da-da. I always think we should have a drum roll, because without a shadow of a doubt, this is the highlight of our Connect Plus sessions every time. So Masami, I'm not sure what your screen looks like down there, but I imagine you can take over and go for it.
Okay, so I will be giving you 3 main updates. First of all, let me share my screen. So the first one is about one of the recent update about the B1G1 system. So this is something you will find on your account too. So let me first log into my account to show you. Some people who are really quick, at finding these all new updates, it seems like they found it already and implemented, but let me show you on my account. So if you click on and one thing that we've been hearing from some of the members since we moved to a new system is that they found it a little bit tricky to find some of their favorite features. So just to clarify, everything that is something to do with your giving, you can find everything under your impact tab, and then everything that's to do with connection, engaging and inviting and leveraging, that goes under connect tab. So when you simply click on the connect link, you land on the B1G1 widget page. And you probably have already seen this, but we added some recent update that you might not know. So one thing is that now you can customize the whole color of your widget, as well as how many items you want to show, but you can keep scrolling down to find some other new widgets too. And so this one is a community widget, which shows overall impact. So if you want to tell your network, this is the collective impact of B1G1, you can embed these ones. You can now easily find your own dynamic map widget here too. So this was a bit tricky before because you had to go to Business for Good Map, and then you need to find yourself first and then open the pop-up and get the embed code. Now it's right there on your widget page. So you could just get the embed code from here, but you could change the width and height of your widget so that it fit nicely on your own web page. Then if you keep scrolling down, there are number widget. So number widget shows you your overall giving impacts as well as your leveraged giving impacts. So if you want to simply put the text of the number of impact on your page and then put your own custom text, then you could use this as well. So everything on this page you can customize to match with your site. So I just want to show you now one of the web pages that integrated many of these widgets in a very nice way. So let me visit this page. So this is one of the B1G1 members based in Singapore. And she, on her side, right at the bottom, and you might have something like this too. At the bottom, there's this footer link leading to giving, which is very quiet, so she doesn't say too much here. But when you land on this page, you actually see that she has integrated the giving message, the map, and then the widget, and then she customized the widget.
This is so nice.
Color,
so nice.
to match with the page. And also she created these nice images, custom images to describe her own giving stories. Yeah, then leading to mailing list and so on. So this is one nice visualization of how you could create your creative giving page or impact page on your own website too. And if you need any help embedding this widget on your site or customizing, then please do just contact us anytime. So that's the first update. So now I'm going to...
That is beautiful, Masami, the way that Elsa has done that. Just beautiful.
Yeah. So now I'm going to... Can you see my screen now?
Got it. B1G1 updates.
Okay. So the first update was enhanced B1G1 widget. And then the next one is actually related to the recent work I have been doing. So we have just released a pre-order version of Giving Business, which is a new book, which I authored with the help of many of the great members and partners as well. And this describes the concept of giving, the power of giving, and having power of having giving culture in your business, as well as giving, creating giving life as well. So now it's there on Amazon Kindle. And so if you go to this link, and which we will be sending you with the follow-up email as well, then you can request a pre-order. The actual book will be released and launched officially on the 2nd of July at the Business for Good conference. So you cannot yet look at it, but please do go and check it out and then place pre-order. Another thing is also relating to Business for Good conference, and you may or may not have seen this, but if you are still considering and haven't finalized your registration yet, then please do. And another thing you may not know, especially if you thought because you couldn't make it, then you couldn't be part of this conference. There is a good news, because you actually can be part of this conference in a very special way. For this conference, we have like a lot of great participants and live speakers and engaging activities and so on. But we also have 3 special external contributors who will be spending some time with us to answer your questions and talk about their own journey. And so these are the gurus in specific field, and I'm sure you know Simon very well, Simon Sinek, who wrote Start With Why. And the middle person is Russ Stoddard, founder and chairman of Oliver Russell, which is the creative agency that works with purpose-driven companies such as Whole Food Market, doing specific branding design. And so they are expert in crafting the message for purpose-driven businesses. And then the last one is Daniel Flynn, who started Thank You Water in Australia. So those 3 people are really, really expert in their own field. And you are invited to ask your personal questions to them by going to this link. And then we will be introducing their answers to your questions during the Business for Good conference, but that will be recorded. So even if you couldn't be there, you will have access to that recording too. So please go to this link and ask questions, and you could be named during the interview with Simon, which we will be doing in soon. Special surprise. So we have a very special news that is specifically related to you and your work, which is our collective impact and the difference we've made together. And during the Business for Good conference, again, we will be announcing some of the award winners over the years, and it's a very special occasion. For now, what I can give you as a special surprise is the list of nominees, and Paul you have the list, Paul?
I have.
Okay, so Paul has the list, and he will be announcing it. So the first of all, we have first award, which is the Impact Award. So we have the 5 nominees right there.
So here are the nominees then for the Impact Award. Going left to right, that's John Habarinko at Earthing Canada, someone up there in Canada. To the far right, someone that a lot of people know, that is Steve Pipe from Accountants Changing the World, been doing some amazing things with B1G1. Then down on the bottom right, we have Rob O'Byrne, a long-time B1G1 person, down there in Sydney, a logistics bureau. Going across the United States, an accountant, none other than Stuart Maudfin, who's been doing some amazing things with tax returns and giving. And then in the far left, Chris Wildeboer from Balance Central in Brisbane. We move to the Habit Award, and going clockwise again, left to right. That's Paul Lange in the top left, the hedonist entrepreneur. Then another accountant. This is Ainsley Damery over there in Cheltenham in the United Kingdom at Tyre Barley Tomlin. Then Dawn McGeechee at Colby McGeechee in Canada again. Then Karen Omerod at the brilliant retail store called Kabomo. And then on the far left, that is Sharon Burford at Cura Integrative Medicine.
So the next one is a Connection Award.
Masami, these guys have been doing some extraordinary things connecting. This is Vic Savitelli from Action Coach in the US, well actually worldwide CEO. Then Simone Holt up at Entrepreneurs Institute there in Bali. And on the far right, Rob Nixon doing some terrific things in the US right now at Panalytics.
So there's a very special award. This is called the Grand Giving Award. So these are the some of the top generous giving companies over the years.
Okay. Yes, the overall Grand Giving Award. And what's interesting is many of these people are kind of quiet, you know, under the surface, but doing fascinating things. So in no particular order, Kylie Anderson from RJS Accounting Services up on the Sunshine Coast. Bob O'Byrne again in for a couple of awards, huh? Logistics Bureau. John Cunningham doing some amazing things down there in Sydney at Cunningham's Property and Real Estate. David Keith from Collins Hume in Lismore or Ballina, is it? Anyway, somewhere in the country, probably Ballina. And then all the way from the United Kingdom, someone who's been doing a lot with schools actually, is Mark Payne. And he's from a company called For My Schools. So there you go, lots of nominees for the awards, and I wonder who they will be. I guess we announced that. Is that on July 4, Masami, or July 5 when we announced that? Well, July 4, okay. Why don't you open your mic and let everybody know about that?
Okay, so the winners of these awards will be announced then, but actually there are some surprise awards that we are not disclosing until then. And even if you are relatively new to B1J1, depending on how creatively you are incorporating the message and so on, you could be selected for one of the awards too. So please do not miss out on the opportunity to tune in, and then also celebrate the great accomplishment that we made together as well. So the next thing, this is the surprise. So I usually end here, but there's just a bonus surprise. So if you've seen B1J1's development and progress for the past few years, you probably noticed that the June, we have a special week each year called Joy of Giving Week. So during the Joy of Giving Week, we usually do something really special and to try to engage everybody and come together to, with a sense of gratitude and also share the joy of giving with a greater community as well. So this year, last year, if you didn't see that, then we did a really fantastic campaign called Smile for Smile. So everybody in the B1J1 community was invited to submit their smiling photo and then indicate which project was their favorite. And then our team over here worked really, really hard and diligently to match those smiles, Smile for Smile, and then published a great smile page where you could share those smiles with others and so on. So this year we have 3 interns coming in for this period, working, Paul is actually pointing the camera down to us, but working hard to come up with the great creative idea to beat the last year's campaign. So we are not yet letting you know, but it's coming up soon. So please watch out for the announcement to arrive in your inbox as well as on B1J1's Facebook and Twitter feed too. And I just wanted to acknowledge all of you on this call for this week, just helping B1J1 achieve 80 million giving impacts. So this is one big milestone cleared again. And this all comes from everybody's small impact collectively accumulated together. And we have created 80 million smiles around the world. So thank you and congratulations for being part of this. Another thing is that we are aiming this year to get to 100 million giving impact, and this is a big number. So you can see that we are still quite a way distant. So we are hoping that things like this Joy of Giving Week, engaging with the greater community, we can together achieve even greater result and create more impact. So I hope and I look forward to working with you, and I hope that you would enjoy being part of the upcoming campaign as well. So that was the update from me. So thank you. Back to you, Paul.
Well, that was massive. I mean, we got surprise, then another surprise, and then another surprise. By the way, the book, Masami's far too humble to let you know what happened to the book. She actually got some very special ones and took them to England and completely sold out. We're over there in England. But the official launch coming up, as Masami said, on the 2nd of July. And of course, you can look at that link, get back on that link again. Yes, Alec, you're right. It is sensational. You can look back on that link and make sure that you get pre-ordering Giving Business. I think from memory, it's bit.ly/Giving Business. So we say, oh, there's Kerry right there, someone who's coming to the conference, all that kind of stuff. Hi, Kerry, because we're in the center of the world right here in Singapore, or at least the center of a lot of things, people drop in occasionally. And so here's one who dropped in all the way from Dubbo in Australia, and a very, very big fan of B1G1, and we are a big fan of hers as well. So Kerry, there you go. Welcome to the first time. Is it the first time?
Well, hello, and thank you so much. It's so exciting to be in this office, and I can't wait to see you in Bali.
Well, we can't wait to see you. And of course, you're looking around and you're seeing many more people than you saw last time, right? All those interns and so on. Talking of many, many people, on me and on behalf of all of those people you see and sort of hear in echo and all of that sort of thing down there, I just want to thank you on behalf of everyone here for making this Connect Plus number 9 a kind of an interesting one and a special one. So many, many things. And we are sending you a note in just a little minute to cover all of those things. Make sure that you get all of the links and so on. So once again, from all of us in Singapore, thank you, Peter, too. From all of us in Singapore, wherever you are in the United Kingdom, I know there's lots of people there, in Australia and all over the place. Thank you so much for being a part, not just of B1G1 Connect Plus, but of B1G1. We are so, so thrilled and privileged to have you here. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.